Yes, it's funny. You're like, I'm not a warm and fuzzy guy. I told Nicole, I'm like,
I'm not warm and fuzzy guy, right? Like nobody's ever said, man, you're like the nicest guy I've ever met, and everyone just loves to be around you, right? So
I could tell that. I'm like, let's just cut to the chase and get this done.
that's so funny.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text and you can call me when you're free and I will book doors to you again.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, man, well, safe travels.
All right, thanks. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
For some reason, it's the weirdest thing, man. If you go like take your car to the dealership and the brakes are worn out on it, you're like, oh yeah, no big deal. Like I know that, and you don't like feel emotionally upset about it. But for some reason, man, when people sell a house and the inspector comes through and says you have these 30 items that are not in full working order, people get really upset about it and just like emotionally attached to the outcome.
Fun of anybody. You know what? The saddest thing to me is that people every day die with the dream still inside. That's sad. But the reason they did not accomplish the dream is not because it wasn't a good dream or not because it wasn't even for them. They didn't.
$68 hours, and there's no judgment to how many hours you're willing to work or you want to work, but how many hours are you willing to work? How many hours are you able to work in your daily week? How many hours are you gonna sleep? Again, no judgment. I'm not saying that you gotta sleep 5 or 6 hours like I do.
Right? You're investing in yourself. It's one of the single biggest return on investments that you can make in this business is investing in yourself. If you don't have any money today, don't give me any excuses about why you can't invest in yourself. Like, we live in a digital age in which you can learn anything in the world you want to on YouTube. And so I taught myself real estate on YouTube. I would watch random coaching videos, random training videos, scripting videos on YouTube because I was working from my dining room for this low fee brokerage. And then secondly, you should be investing in people. Like every single day you should be thinking about who you can bring into your world, who's the most talented person that you can imagine. Right, so I have agents who in their first 9 months in the business are making $100,000 plus or double what they were prior to getting into real estate. I have to have a value proposition in order to have splits like that. And our value proposition is that we have this amazing structure that's built fast, to your point, that allows you to be plugged in day one and be a 6-figure income earner. And then invest into something that pays you dividends, like rental property, like your 401k, whatever that is that gives you ROI, do that. But as far as where you spend money in your business, first and foremost, make it yourself, and then make it other people when you're ready for that stage. It's easily the most valuable thing you do is hire a coach, without a doubt. You can't think big enough, truthfully. Like there's no way that if you'd asked me 5 years ago that I would say that my life would be in the same position. I never thought I would make $100,000. I was making 39. And you need somebody else who thinks bigger than you, who's not stuck looking at the trees and can actually see the forest for you. You know, Gary tells us that you're 5 years from anywhere you want to be in life. You're 5 years from anywhere you want to be, and that sounds very hope-filled, and that sounds like it's a pipe dream. But the reality is I think that there's a part of me that is living proof of that. Right, going from $39,000 to a $60 million team leader in under 5 years. It is a sequential day after day after day of making the decision whether it's the right habits or the wrong habits. So for me, it's important that if I'm going to have the most talented people inside of my world, that's going to cost money. And I'm okay with overpaying by industry standards for the right people. And so I hear people talk about how affordably or how cheap they're able to get by with paying people, and they brag about it. And all I can think about is how small your world and how small your thinking is. For me, what I want is 10 millionaires inside of the business before I quit. I want 10 people to retire before they're 50. Like, I'm way more proud of that than ever selling 100 homes or whatever that number is. And so we pay people who are talented above what is considered to be an industry standard, and that's because they're paid for what they earn.
Final thoughts on how you think Elizabethtown went?
You know what I think is interesting though is like you get all these questions about like, what kind of CRM do you use? What kind of 33 touch plan do you have? What kind of this and websites? Just a million questions. And I think what most entrepreneurs or most real estate agents struggle with is just all the questions. And then that leads to inaction. And the reality is, like, if you just run 200 miles a minute, you break things a heck of a lot faster than you do when you just sit in question asking mode. Like, just go do something and then figure out it doesn't work. Like, just stop analyzing it and just go make decisions and then course correct after you've taken action. That I think is the thing that keeps so many people behind. I mean, we heard that over and over and over. I gotta hire somebody. I've got this problem. I've got this problem. I've got this problem. All right, cool. Here's the easy solution. Yeah, but it's not that easy. But no, really, it is that easy. It's just that simple. It's that we get in our own way when we know the right answer, but we have all these limiting beliefs about why it doesn't work. And that, I think, is what holds everybody back.